Hello, I'm Fabio. I'm the engineer for RMG Studios, and today I want to go over one of the last productions that I worked on. It's called Novo Dia by the artist Felipe Sant'ana. So a little bit of background on the production of this song. It was actually recorded in Brazil. In the beginning of the pandemic, so I ended up getting stuck there for a few months, and one thing led to another. I've known Felipe for a very long time. I actually even worked on his first album, and on very short notice, we put everything together, and I managed to get a few equipments borrowed from a few friends, and it happened. We recorded everything in his bedroom. Well, the core of the song, which is the acoustic guitars and the main vocals. We did all of that in one production day in his bedroom. Then I brought everything back to Berlin and recorded drums in a different studio, then did all the rest of the overdubs and mixing here. After all the recording was done, I had some sounds go through the desk, just reprinting stuff, getting a few colors going, and even the drums. Just a fun fact, I actually ended up sending all the shells to a cassette tape and printing it back so it gets a bit of the cassette saturation thing. It's kind of very dirty sounding in a good way. And as you see in a minute, the song sounds very punchy and partially due to that. As far as the mix goes, now jumping into the computer for a second, as you can see, it's a pretty simple setup, a very short session. I have everything routed straight from the tracks to the desk, no bussing inside the DAW whatsoever, which is not very common for me. I normally have a whole mixing template going, but I decided to go simple with this one. And also because I was treating things so much on the way in and leading up to the mix, there wasn't really much to do when the mix actually started. By the way, with the desk, I actually have it set up the way I had before. So these are my original mix notes. Always take mix notes. And I have a few recall sheets. So I have all the EQs going the way they were, and some of the effect sends. Well, the one effect send that I'm using, which is an output reverb, I know the settings for. I haven't done it yet, but we'll do it in a second. So I have the chorus looped. We'll push up the faders and see how it sounds. Right, starting with a kick.
Jogar no mar, deixa o sol queimar, trazendo luz para o novo dia. Leve com você a mais pura melodia. Se jogar no mar,
Now the effect.
deixa o sol queimar, trazendo luz para o novo dia. Leve com você a mais pura melodia. Se jogar no mar, deixa o sol queimar, trazendo luz para o novo dia. Leve com você.
Cool. So from my notes, I actually had the output reverb go into the vocals, the snare, and the toms. So we'll set that up now. I have it coming out of aux 3 from the desk.
Jogar no mar, deixa o sol queimar.
nice. You can go up.
Jogar no mar, deixa o sol queimar, trazendo luz para um novo dia. Leve com você
There you go.
pura melodia. Se jogar no mar, deixa.
Cool. As you can see, just by pushing faders, the sound was pretty much ready. Just a little bit of balancing. Then just going into the plugins I was using, which again are not very many. I'm just gonna drag this here. Again, yeah, it's just a little bit of EQing here going on the drums. There's a bit of compression, C4, just pushing up the highs on the overheads, but also controlling it a little bit. Then on bass, I have an instance of the LA3A with the limiter on, then a max bass to make it a little bit more noticeable on mobile speakers. And what else do we got? Just not very much. A few more instances of the C4, a bit more EQ. Even on vocals, I mean, I was heavily compressing the vocals on the way in, actually. So I didn't even do any compression on this stage. It's just a little bit of de-essing, just bringing down everything above 4K dynamically, then bringing it back up with a Pultec and a little bit of board EQ, but not very much as well. As far as effects go, I have a couple of reverbs here. So it's a 480L by Lexicon and an EMT 140, both IR plugins, so convolution reverbs, and a chorus and a delay. Then all of that is summed from the board goes back into these tracks here. And yeah, I believe that's pretty much all of it. These are the prints, the final prints. I have 3 here because I have some recalling to do, but the stems were printed together with the final print, and that is it. I'll let you give it a little listen to the solo. Actually, a pretty cheeky solo here.
Trazendo a luz para um novo dia. Para um novo dia. E no futuro eu me vejo, cabelo grande, barba por fazer.
These are all the drums.
No pé
The bass. Acoustic guitars. Guitars.
com você.
And the vocals.
A mais pura melodia.
And then just the effects returns. So
Com você.
there you have it. That is Novo Dia by Felipe Sant'ana. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you'd like to see more content like this, please subscribe and hit the like button. And also go check him out. He's a really cool guy, really good artist. All his material is very good.
Pra gente se amar, vontade que só dá e não passa, de viver ainda que eu não vivi, de acordar do outro lado do país, abrir os olhos e te ver sorrir, de te ver sorrir, de te ver. Então